Tonight's loss is on the players. Absolutely 100%. Tonight's loss in this elimination game is on the players on this New York Knicks roster. Cannot blame the coach for this. Of course, he takes some responsibility for this particular loss. But losing this series, losing game one after being up 9 with less than a minute left in the game, and you give this game away, you give that game away, it's come back to haunt you now. You removed your, but it really, yes, I know everyone's going to focus on that game 1 loss, but to me, it was game 2 that was the most egregious of it all. Once you've given up a flukish game, let's just say, to the Pacers in game 1, you should have come out, Knicks players, coach, Thibs, everybody. You should have come out and completely blown the Pacers off the court in game 2. Game 2 is when this series was lost. It wasn't necessarily game 1. Game 1 was a crazy thing that happened, and it happens in games, the flow. But once that has happened, you put it to bed, and then you take care of business in game 2, and the Knicks did not take care of business in game 2. Now, I can blame Thibs for that one, because he was still putting Josh Hart in the starting lineup. And Josh Hart, my God, Josh Hart. Did you have money on this game against the Knicks? Did you have money on the series against the Knicks? Because your play was single-handedly, if I had to point at one specific thing that lost this series, it was Josh Hart's play in this Eastern Conference Finals. And I'll say it right to his face. I actually had a short that I had out earlier a couple days ago, and I felt bad about what I said about Josh Hart, and I took it down. But now I regret it. I regret it tremendously. The Knicks are right there. They need to get Josh Hart off the floor. I don't know what Thibs is thinking. He is hurting us more than he's helping. The Knicks had a 20-point lead. Now it's down to 10. Come on, let's go. 1.5 quarters to go. The New York Knicks season that started on October 22nd has come to an end on May 31st, 2025, with the New York Knicks losing 125-108 to the Indiana Pacers on their home court. The Pacers, you know what? Shout out to them. They did everything they needed to do to secure this victory, and the Knicks assisted them. The Knicks players did. We had game 1 right there. I can't believe we lost like this. But it was game 2. I'm telling you guys, it was game 2 that was the major disappointment. Because a team that loses a game like they did in game 1, they should come out and respond in a tremendous fashion in game 2, especially on their home court. They should not have allowed that game to have unfolded the way it did. I really thought we were going to get a game 7. I really thought that the Knicks had figured some stuff out in that game 5, and they were going to be able to roll it into game 6. In some ways, I feel like it was like one of those, like, I wish we had just, it was like a back-to-back, or we had an extra day or two in between. The 48 hours in between, I could feel it. I was tight. I was tight today. I mean, I also have other reasons for that, but I was just tight. I was like, all right, what's going to happen? What team is going to show up? Is Towns going to deliver? Is he going to commit stupid fouls? Is Brunson going to be as sharp as he was in that first quarter in game 5? Is he going to replicate that in game 6? Is Thibs going to brain fart again and just leave certain lineups in too long? Like, all of that stuff. My mind was just clouded with all these thoughts. And it was because it came back to those first 2 losses of this series. And I know everyone's going to keep talking about game 1, but to me, it was game 2 that was the most crucial loss of this series. Because game one's already done. That's over. Now you have game two. You were once up. You had the game. You had game one in your hands. So now you should come out and roll over these guys in your home court. And they didn't. And they didn't. Knicks played their worst when it mattered the most. And that's the story of this series. In the first game, they played their worst when it mattered the most. They even had a lead in overtime and then coughed it up. They could have, be going to Indiana 1-1 if they had taken care of business in game two. They didn't do it. So then they're like, okay, you put yourself in a situation where you have to pull off a miracle. Not a miracle, but you have to have a historic comeback. And you win game three. You pull it off. Great. And then you cough up game four. Then you come home, you take care of business in game five. You're like, okay, and you discover how to slow down the Pacers. And then somehow forget how to do it in the second quarter of this game. And now they are headed to the NBA championship. And you're going on vacation. Unfortunately, only one team gets to celebrate at the end of every NBA season. And we were just 2 teams away from that. Maybe next season will be different. Let's hope. Maybe next season it'll be us going to the finals. Riding all that vibe. Let's go. I hope so. All right, I'm going to sign off. I don't really want to, but I'm going to sign off. Thank you to everybody. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks next year. I will see you. I'm going to see you very soon. You guys. I'm going to do more shows immediately next week. We're going to be talking about what we're going to do in the off season. I think we, even if we don't have a second, I think we do have a second round pick. But I have a feeling Leon's going to make some moves. There's going to be some big trades in the off season. And then it's going to be a very, very, very active off season. A lot of teams need to figure out what to do with themselves, and maybe the Knicks can sit there and just pick up some great additions to this squad. It'd be wonderful. All right, I will see you next week around the Knicks-Verse. Thank you all so much.